Thanks for coming out, everyone. So great to have you all in the audience. We have a very special speaker for you today. She's been teaching elementary school in Vermont for the last 14 years, primarily in the first grade, and is a leading expert on the importance of play. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the stage Rebecca Vanderkar.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. It's so nice to be here today, and I'm so excited to speak with you about something that is so special to my heart, and that is, of course, why play matters. Before we get started, you might have to shift your mindset just a little bit when you think about what play is. For many of you, you probably conjure up the image of children playing on the playground, climbing the jungle gym, or playing tag. But really, play is so much more. In fact, there are 5 qualities to a playful mindset that you are going to see appear throughout my talk. You're going to see that a recurring theme is imagination, sociability, humor, spontaneity, and wonder. The first thing I want to talk to you about is that there are so many different ways to play. And I don't even like to think about them as ways of playing, because really what they are different ways of learning. In each of these different types of play, you're flexing a different muscle that you wouldn't ordinarily get to access in a traditional classroom setting. There are several types of play. I don't want to go over them all, but there are several types that to me are very important for a primary classroom. The first being right here in this picture, you see sociodramatic play. This is where children have an opportunity to reenact real life scenarios that are close to their heart and that which they are personally connected with. The next picture is object playing. This is when students have an opportunity to explore a new topic by using their senses. Here you see a boy engaged in symbolic play. He's turned a 2-liter bottle in a cardboard box, and suddenly now he's a pilot in space. And of course, this last type of play is locomotor play. We know now that today's students are not getting enough movement. And anytime we can incorporate locomotor play into our classroom, they're going to benefit. This is your traditional classroom setting. This is textbooks, this is encyclopedias, this is worksheets. We have a choice to take a different approach. The next thing I want to talk to you about is that play begins with an experience. We all remember those special days growing up when we loaded the bus to take our field trip. It was maybe 2 times a year. If we were lucky, possibly 3. And we were so excited because it was out of the ordinary. It was out of the routine. It was a brand new experience. We know as teachers that it's not logistically or financially practical to have a field trip every day, but that doesn't mean that we can't bring experiences to our students. We can bring experiences by simply taking a walk outside and exploring our surroundings and seeing what we can find. We can fill a tub with water and soap and let students explore the properties. We can get materials at the dollar store and have students build models of what we're learning about in our classroom. The best times in life are usually random, unplanned, and completely spontaneous. When we bring experiences into our classrooms, it can be tough for us because we like to have control. We like to know what the outcome is going to be. But it's so important for us to let our students make discoveries on their own. We need to let go and just let it happen around us. The next thing I would like to talk to you about is that play connects to our emotions. We have an opportunity as a teacher to associate learning for our students with a particular feeling. We can associate learning with boredom or frustration, or we can create experiences for students that help them associate learning with positive emotions. Things like excitement, pride, delight. When play connects to our emotions, the content of our lessons becomes more meaningful and engaging, and the lesson sticks. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is that play inspires creativity. Oftentimes we think about creativity as using art supplies to make a project. And while this is certainly a form of creativity, it is absolutely not the only way. You can think about creativity as taking non-traditional materials and creating something brand new, something that was never there before. Creativity is using your imagination to suddenly become pirates on the sea or astronauts exploring space. It's about looking at a problem and finding new ways to solve it. About opening our minds and looking at the world in new ways. When we help students engage in the creative process, we introduce them to failure, and we introduce failure as not a bad thing, but as a first attempt in learning. Students need to learn early that making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process and that it's nothing to be afraid of. When we let students fail without judgment, we help them see that it's okay. The next idea that I want to talk to you about is that play offers children choice. And when we give students a choice in their learning, we're communicating a very important message that you matter. When we give them time to explore their passions, we are letting them know we see you, we hear you, and we value your interests. When a student gets that opportunity, they have a chance to reach that state of flow because they are so invested in what they are doing. When we get to that state, we feel our best and we perform at our best. Time stops. We're completely absorbed by what we're doing. That may seem like a tall order if you're first starting out with incorporating play into your classroom, but there are easy ways to just put your foot in the water. You can start by giving students choice boards, letting them choose what activities are going to help them learn a certain topic, or letting them choose how they will present what they have learned. Or you can have them choose a subtopic of what you are studying, and they can choose what's most appealing to them. If you have a little bit more experience, you might want to think about incorporating something like Makerspace, which is where you set aside a portion of your classroom to let students explore, work together, and share what they have learned. Or you can incorporate Genius Hour. This is when teachers set aside a portion of each week where students get to work on projects of their own choosing. They feel a sense of ownership over their work and a sense of investment that they wouldn't otherwise have. Or if you're really feeling ambitious, as a classroom, you can choose to participate in project-based learning, where you identify a problem that is meaningful to you. You investigate it and conduct research. You find possible solutions to the problem and even present those solutions to a real-life audience. The last thing I would like to talk to you about today is the many other valuable qualities that play teaches students that go well beyond skills. Right now in education, we are bombarded with data. In fact, a teacher friend once said to me, "I don't feel like a teacher anymore. I feel like a data analyzer." You can't go to a staff meeting or a team meeting or a PLC meeting without being presented with a chart of scores or reading levels or how students did on a specific assessment. We can't reduce students to numbers on a page. And the types of skills that you can learn through play are just not quantifiable in that way, but they are necessary to have across disciplines, across jobs, and they pay off in all facets of a child's life, well beyond when they leave your classroom and even your school. Sometimes these skills are referred to as soft skills or habits of mind, but they're things like collaboration and cooperation, communication, critical thinking, perseverance, and how to regulate your thoughts, body, and emotions. These qualities are not going to appear as questions on those computerized adaptive tests that your students take 3 times a year. But these qualities are so much more valuable. Our children deserve to be more than just a test score. I hope you can see by now that the importance of play goes beyond excuses. We're always going to have reasons why we feel that we can't incorporate play. But we are living in a different time than when our parents and grandparents went to public school. It's a different world, and we need to have a different approach. I'd like to leave you with a quote. Play turns out to be so stunningly essential to childhood. It's like love, sunshine, and broccoli, all juiced together. I hope by now you feel inspired to try incorporating play into your classroom, and I can't wait to hear about all your successes. Thanks for having me today.